How's your handwriting? And does it even matter in a world of phones, tablets, and maybe even laptops? Well, it does for doctors in India, where a High Court has said a legible medical prescription can make the difference between life and death. A court in Punjab has now asked the government to include handwriting lessons in the medical school curriculum, as well as setting out a 2-year rollout plan for digital prescriptions. Esther, that was a good point. How important really is handwriting in 2025?
I think it is still important. I do feel a bit sorry, though, that sort of poor, illegible handwriting has become a meme exclusively for the medical community.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't complain about plumbers having bad handwriting, but we just expect now for doctors to have terrible handwriting. And I remember growing up, it was a really fundamental part of the curriculum. If teachers can't read what you're writing, you're not going to get graded on it. And I think people assume that everything can be typed up on a laptop. I think what this really highlights is actually wealth difference. Yes. and actually real poverty, because the real issue here is many hospitals in more urban developed parts of India don't have this problem because they print out prescriptions, so they've never had to encounter this. But you have doctors in these overpopulated, really busy public hospitals in more rural, densely populated, underfunded, under-resourced parts of India that are saying, listen, we don't have the time to have pretty handwriting. We just need to get these prescriptions out so we can see as many patients as possible. But of course, if the pharmacist can't read the prescription, it's very useless. So I think it is important to highlight that, you know, decent handwriting and good penmanship is still important. And I think parents should think twice about shoving an iPad in their children's faces. Maybe we'd get them to write a few notes or a little story or something, because it is still important.
Because I always thought if you had your spelling lessons on a Friday, you had to write out your spelling. But Dr. Elie, you, of course, you work at a university. What do you think about students' handwriting? Would you look at them and be like, oh, I really judge them? Or do they even
nothing
write
like what we saw now. This is beyond, but definitely still a part of our work at uni involves handwriting, be it exercises in class, be it exams and so on. Not everything is on electronics and on through emails and different stuff. So definitely we do suffer from bad handwriting by students, and sometimes it's simply incomprehensible, and you cannot even grade something like that. And funny story, I was telling you that at a certain time I actually had to call in the student and tell him, please read to me what you have written, because I have absolutely no... And it was a good answer, but he simply couldn't write it properly. Now, thinking about it, I think either when you are in an extreme hurry, or when you are missing spelling and things like that. So you just try to go through the words as quickly as possible, and this will lead to a very bad handwriting. But then the issue about India is we know for a fact that all doctors all around the world have bad handwriting.
Universal.
So it's not really up to the education system or what the judge has requested them to do. Definitely a solution would be to type them electronically. Some places, of course, have started to do that. But again, it's a common trait among all doctors. I don't know why.